Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. My name is Robert Antwin, and along with the lovely
Constance Carter.
And we believe that for every situation,
there is a conversation.
Hashtag Conversation Starters Live. Listen, Constance, it's Friday. We finally made it to the weekend.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, you know, I'm all jacked up because we had the holiday, right? So it was a long weekend and everybody got to sleep in or do whatever it is that they do when they're lounging. And then you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as a work week. So is your body clock still right?
I'm good. You know, I travel so much and this COVID has not shut me down from traveling. So I'm glad to be home.
Yeah, well, shout out to you. Kudos to you for making it, being a TEDx speaker. I mean, like, that was really, really hot. I love it. Yeah. I'm definitely happy to know that I know somebody who is a TED Talk speaker. So that was awesome.
I had so much fun. Thank you. It was definitely a great honor and a privilege to be able to do that. So hopefully, you know, the biggest thing is I hope that people were able to take some things away and change their life from it. And that's the biggest thing, whether I reach 100 or 100 million in Jesus' name. I hope somebody's able to take something from it.
You know, you sound like you're millions and millions and millions.
I receive that.
Well, listen, if you have been watching the news today is a very special day. It is 9/11, and we should never forget what happened on 9/11/2001. I don't know if you remember where you were on that day or what was going on in your world.
I do. I was working at AT&T, and I used to do IT.
Oh! I thought you were like the AT&T chick, like at the retail store.
No. I used to be an IT analyst in my former life, and I remember we had TVs up, and then the tower hit. I thought it was a movie or something, and then I remember going home and the freeway being empty and just being scared and being glued to the TV like for the rest of the day. It was the craziest day of my life.
Wow,
scary.
Yeah. It must have been. You know, I was so oblivious. In fact, I was a district manager. I was in retail at the time, and I didn't want to go to work that day. So I picked the closest store to where I live, and I was totally oblivious to what was happening until I listened to the radio. And I think the second tower was coming down at that time by the time they announced it. So after I got home to really watch and process what had actually happened, it was mind-boggling just to think that we had been violated in such a way as a country. So I just hope that everybody out there, if you were affected, whether you're a military family or you have someone connected to New York or the World Trade Centers on that day, may the souls of those people rest in peace. We hope that your resilience stays strong. And despite some of the atrocities happening in these United States of America, we should never forget that this is the land of the free and home of the brave. Absolutely. So much so that last night they want us not to ever forget what happened in New York. I hope that everyone never forgets that Black lives do matter. I thought that was so dope last night that the NFL, they kicked off their first game, and all of the players, they decided to go and lock arms in solidarity for social justice and to make sure that there is nobody forgetting what has happened with George Floyd, with Breonna Taylor, and the like. And we want to make sure that no one forgets that Black lives really do matter.
Which is kind of interesting
about that subject.
It's kind of interesting because just last season, NFL didn't want no parts of it. NFL didn't want no parts of any kind of what it seemed to be protests, which they made about a flag, which it was never about that, which has always been about Black lives. But now all of a sudden, we got their ears, which is a good thing. I'm not mad at them, but it's just like it seems to me, and I hope that it's done, from a pure place. But it could be propaganda.
The scary thing about that is just a sign of the times where it is socially convenient to be about Black Lives Mattering. It is socially convenient to make sure that you donate dollars to Black businesses and
but guess what we gonna do, Rob? We gonna take advantage of it. These Black dollars, these Black businesses, this Black woman, I'm going to take advantage of every opportunity that they have. So you want to give out money to Black businesses? Catalyst Real Estate Professionals. We are the largest African-American owned real estate firm in California. Go on and send us some money. We will take the PPP. We will take the EIDL. We will take everything that you have to offer, for Black lives. We support our Black lives and our Black businesses. We're going to take it. And we don't care if it doesn't come from a pure place. We don't care if it doesn't come from pure heart. We'll take it. We're going to 10X it, and we're going to make some money. We're going to make a difference in the community with it.
All right. The comments given by Constance Carter does not reflect that of ConversationStarters.
I'm just saying, listen, if you want to play that game, I'll play with you, and I'll play it all the way to the bank.
For sure. So if you're out there and you happen to take advantage of your status in the community, make sure that you recirculate those dollars back to Black businesses and making sure that Black's excellence is on full display. Because the one thing I learned during Constance's TED Talk is that the dollar in the Black community lasts for 6 whole hours before it leaves the community. In other communities, it lasts for 17 days, sometimes upward of 20 days. But in our community, the dollar lasts. It stays in the community for 6 hours. So get that money, make sure you grow that money, and don't you blow that money, because this is your time and this is your turn to take advantage of all that is coming to you.
Amen, and amen. Yes, brother. I want to say that just like you said, we definitely need to be putting more money into our communities, and we need to utilize this time. This is the best time in history. We are in this time on this planet for a reason at this very moment. So we need to capitalize, because there's so many opportunities out there. In spite of the atrocities that are happening against our people, there's still a lot of opportunities, and we just need to take advantage of those opportunities when they're presented to us.
Come on. Well, listen, you are listening to the #1 entertainment platform in the world.
Yes.
And we believe that for every situation,
there is a conversation.
And with that being said, we have a question for our peoples, all of our peoples out there in the feed. Check this out. Constance Carter, with the convenience of today's technology, I just want to know, I really, really, really want to know the best way to break up in today's society. 2020 has been awful, I'll tell you, awful. So I just need to know from the brothers and the sisters, today, if you're breaking up with somebody, your boo thing, your chick on the side, your whoever that is, are you breaking up A, via text message, or B, by phone call, or C, in person?
Robert, why would you do this? Is this your question?
Here's the deal. I've watched a few rom-coms in my day, and it seems sacrilegious to break up with somebody and say, it's not you, it's me. And you do it by text, right? So I know that is very, very popular with social media. In fact, some people find out their status with their significant other on social media after the fact. Like, they don't even get the text. So I'm just curious.
Grown ass people break up the grown ass traditional way. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, if you're grown, you should probably have a conversation. And I would imagine that it depends on, how long you've been together, how serious the relationship is. Like, I'm not breaking up with my husband via text, right? So that warrants a conversation or a series of conversations.
So yeah, if you are in holy matrimony, I would suggest that you have an in-person conversation.
I think that would be the best.
Painful as it may be, you might want to do that in person.
Absolutely.
But what do you think about like situationships?
Oh, situationships text.
Oh, that's a text. Oh, it was.
Or just hit him with the block. Hit him with the block.
So no words, just your status has been devoid.
Block them on everything.
On
You no longer see my social media. You no longer have access to my. In fact, I have a thing on my phone which it'll go doo doo doo. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
What? Wow. I'm. You know what? I'm a sentimental guy, and we've had these kind of conversations before, and I know it's been tough. I had my heart broken maybe 2 times in my whole life, so I do everything in my power.
How old were you?
I ain't telling. What I'm saying is, I've had my heart broken 2 times and it hurt. It hurt real bad, real bad. Like I listened to the same slow song over and over and over again. Bad. I couldn't even tell you. It was probably a Luther song. It might have been a Babyface song. Whatever song it was, I wouldn't let it go. And so I never want to hurt somebody that way. And
well, if it's just a situationship, like if it ain't really, if it's not really nothing, then text.
You don't understand what it is for a brother that's it's hard to just yeah. I mean, because if you block them, they'll show up at your house. If you block them, they'll show up at the church. If you block them, they'll show up at your favorite restaurant. Like they need like
closure.
Closure. That's that word, closure. So brothers and sisters, make sure that however you decide to get out of your entanglement, your situationship, have a conversation. The text message thing will get your tires flat. Doing it on social media will get you embarrassed in public, and you don't want that.
Wow.
Yeah, right. For sure. Well, listen, as we move this thing along, this is one of my favorite portions of the show. I call it Platinum Peeps. We call it Platinum Peeps, where we get an opportunity to shout out Black businesses, make sure that Black excellence is on full display. And we have some super friends today that we want to bring on the show, Constance, just to have them talk to our audience.
Super excited.
About how great they are. And we got some real cool folks. One of our super friends, her name is Danielle Jarvie Harmon, and I want to bring her on to talk to the papers.
Right on.
Hey,
how
y'all doing? I'm excited to be here. My name, as Robert said, is Danielle Jarvie Harmon, and I help 6-figure service-based entrepreneurs get to 7 figures faster than they ever could on their own. In addition to the work that I do, I think that speaks for itself. What I always want people to know about me is that first and foremost, I love God with everything that I am, and I am the absolute best at combining spiritual principles with business growth strategy to create an environment for my clients to go from struggling at 6 figures to shredding at 7 figures. And so I'm really excited for an opportunity to be here hanging out with Robert and Constance to just lend my voice to the cause. If you are a 6-figure entrepreneur and you're tired of hitting against that 6-figure wall and you're ready to position yourself for everything that is waiting for you at 7 figures, because in my personal opinion, like, why would you have a business if you're not going to shoot for it to be $1 million business? And you need some support getting over that hump so that you can make sure you're doing the right things at the right time in the right way for the right people so that your money lines up right. Then you should holler at your girl.
Come on. Woo.
Boom, shaka like
boom, holla at your girl.
Yeah, not 6 figures. I'm trying to get some M's in your pocket.
Come on.
Yes. Life gets better at the $1 million mark. You can tithe more, you can give more, you can live better, you can set up legacy, you can break generational wealth curses. If we're gonna do it, let's make millions. And you need some support getting over that hump so that you can make sure you're doing the right things at the right time in the right way for the right people so that your money legacy, you can break generational wealth curses.
Come on.
I love it.
Come on.
I love that for sure, because Danielle, I've had an opportunity to sit at your feet while you're on stage, while you've been in workshops, while you've been in classrooms, while you've been one-on-one. So you truly live exactly what you talk about. I wish nothing but success and greatness to you. And I know you're going to be love and light to all those that you encounter. So thank you for being a part of Conversation.
How do they find her?
Yeah, the best way to find me these days is at nextleveleverything.tv. Wow. Nextleveleverything.tv.
Okay. Thank you, Darnell.
Next level everything.
Next level everything. Like
Next
not
level
just no
everything.
money. I'm talking about everything at the next level.
Come
That's
on.
what we talking about. That's what we hitting for. Because 2020 ain't canceled. Now I know today's song guest just said cancel 2020 in a new song. But 2020 ain't canceled. It's still time to go out here, make this money, make this impact, and create so much more of what it is that you were brought here to do out in the world. Because we need it now more than ever.
Wow. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, big hugs to you, Darnell. I see you on the other side. Thank you for being a part of this broadcast. Wakanda forever. And we love you. Well, listen, we've got some more platinum peeps that we want to bring on the broadcast, sis. Is you ready?
I am.
So shout out to Marlo Martin saying she loves Darnell Harvey Jarman. So let's bring on our next super friend. Is that Shay?
What's up? It's a great day. Shay Brown up in the house. How are you?
Good, man. Well, why don't you talk to the people, man, in today's COVID environment, man? I love to hear you speak. You have the #1 late night talk show on social media. So I want the people that are listening to Conversation Starters Live to get a chance to experience some of your Black excellence.
Well, I'm super excited because one of the things that makes me do what I do is I have cool friends like Constance and like the one and only Robert, right? So what we do is we help entrepreneurs make more sales by less effort by being the #1 selling team for entrepreneurs. So if you don't want to sell or you don't like to sell, the best thing you can do is hire someone who does. Makes sense, right? Because the #1 challenge facing entrepreneurs today is not how do I believe, is not do I think I can. The #1 challenge facing entrepreneurs today is lack of resources because they don't have the revenue to purchase the resources necessary to execute the vision they have for the people they were called to serve. And the only reason they don't have the revenue is because they don't have sales. So if you don't want to sell, you would hire us. We're the #1 selling team for entrepreneurs. The question that came up, and this is why I'm here, it's an honor and a privilege, a treat and a treasure to share with you that if you're going through what everyone's going through right now, here's my one idea for you to help you have a breakthrough, because 2020 is the year of the underdog, right? It really is. We all start as underdogs. Here's the idea. Don't confuse your current state with your potential. You see, your current state is what's the reality. That's the current present. That's the reality. But the other is a future possibility that is just waiting on you. So Shay, if it's waiting on me, what's one thing I could do to create a breakthrough right now in my life? And here it is. Jot this in your notes. Systems beat goals every single time. So I want you to look at the system that you're using right now in order for you to have better health. I want you to look at the system you're using right now in order to really have better finances, but more importantly, in your business. For all my entrepreneurs out there, my speakers, my authors, my coaches, the trainers, I want you to look at the system you have right now to generate revenue in your business that allows you to purchase the resources to execute the vision you have for yourself or for your loved ones or the ones you were called to serve. So the #1 idea I would lend you right now is to focus on your discipline in your life so you can execute and have the system and have the system necessary to achieve your goals. Goals are always in the future, but it's the system we're doing to get to those goals. So that's my message. That's what I had to say. Constance, Robert, you're amazing. To all of the viewers, to give Constance and Robert and the guests their time, thank you so much. You're amazing. You're incredible. And for you, the best is still yet to come. Back over to you, Robert.
Man,
that was
Shay Brown.
By the way, thank you very much.
That's good.
That boy is good. Well, Shay, tell everybody in Conversation Starters Live world, what is the best way to get in touch with you? We certainly love the message that you gave us. And we want to make sure that we continue the partnership to work with you.
Sure. So the best thing to do right now for many of you, just go to this website. It's 4, the number 4. They couldn't make it easy for you, could they? 4-minute sales makeover. Now you're saying, Shay, is it 4? Yes, 4 and then minute and then sales makeover. And just go there if you want to connect. You're like, man, I'm just curious, Shay, I need more resources. Check it out. Great video series. It's free. You don't need a Cash App. You don't need a Zelly payment. No credit card. Just show up. And then that's what life is all about, showing up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Shay, the same way I told Darnell, I'm always amazed when I have the opportunity to listen to you, share your brilliance with the masses. And I'm so doggone proud of you and your show. And I wish you nothing but love and life, brother. Anything you need from the Conversation Starters Live team, that means me and Constance, just give us a holler. We got you.
When Constance starts 10X in that money, you can just toss it over here. You said you want to help those folks in the community. Just toss it my way, and then I'll spend it in the community. We'll make sure we circulate it. Start circulating here with the 10X.
Hey, you know my dollars have circulated that way plenty.
Many times. We can always use more. Come on, we can always use more.
Come on,
I gotta go. Peace.
All right, peace. Man, I love Shay. Well, listen, we have somebody very special in the building.
I'm super excited.
I'm super excited. But before we do that, you got some fans out there.
I got fans. Yo, boo thing.
She got something she want to say.
What she want to say?
Hey, Constance, it's your friend Layla Hathaway. I wanted to congratulate you on the start of your new show, Conversation Starters Live, and to let you know that, ooh, you're something. Good luck with everything and be well.
I can't stand you right now. I swear I can't stand you.
Hater.
I can't stand you.
Hater.
Well, for real, ladies like my play girlfriend. She just don't know it yet, but we've been going together for a long time.
Well, I know somebody who knows her and who's done a song with her.
Do you?
A really, really cool song. One of my favorite songs also. Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully you got a cool name, cooler than Robert. You know what I mean?
I think he does. But before we bring him on, I want to show a little bit of a clip. There's a song that I've been listening to like over and over and over again. See, I'm real obsessive when there's a song that I like. I continue to listen to it until I get tired of it. This particular song is so relevant for what's going on today, in 2020. And I was like, did he just write it last week? I mean, because it's so fresh and so relevant. You guys got to go to wherever music is sold, wherever music is streamed. This song, I mean, it actually makes me cry. I've cried, and I ain't no punk, tattoo tears, homie. I don't do no crying. But this song is actually one of them ones that'll make me cry. So I want you to listen to it real quick, by none other than Mr. Eric Roberson. Y'all want to hear it? Here you go.
Maybe just wake up and it all disappeared. First came COVID, then came COVID. Wouldn't believe it if you told it. Not to mention cops still shooting us out here. Cancel culture, can we cancel this? Oh yeah, I'll take 15. If you know what I mean. Yo, when Bill with this pass, I was already done. Man, 20, you ain't been fun. Wanna high straight to 21. But really, I fear COVID gon' still be here. Top sign still up in my rear. Baby mama got the news, now she all in her knees. Cause I didn't stop when they said freeze. I'm I thought the year being blast. Every night I will be raising the glass. On tour straight, making the stash. But instead, I'm watching this race his ass. Little kid raising rifle to blast. Killed 2 people in the cops let him pass. It wasn't that kind of to me. That wasn't even his hit. Yeah, the past year's been whack. Hunting season on everything black. Speaking of black, just lost Black Panther to Kiss. Somebody please take 20 back. Maybe this means after these goes, we'll have a high tomorrow. I wanna know, yes I know. This shit has to go. Yeah, cancel culture, can we cancel this? Oh yeah. Maybe just wake up and it all disappear. First came Kobe, then came COVID. Wouldn't believe it if you told it. Not to mention cops still shooting us out here. Cancel culture, can you cancel this? Oh yeah. I'll take 15. If you know what I mean. I had a dog and he cried this morning. Don't get to hear the side of him often. I can't imagine what this year cost him. I just thank God that I ain't lost him. I just can't imagine that pain. I pray for those of us who can't say the same. Breonna Taylor, yo, please say your name. If you lost someone, understand that the life ain't in vain. I know tomorrow ain't subject to change, but the dream is in range. I feel like Chad knew and was planting the seed. Leave a legacy that these kids need. We had a superhero right here working through pain. Just so he could tell us that we could do this.
Come on.
pain. Just gotta
Work through the pain. Work through the pain.
cancel culture, can we cancel this? Oh yeah. This oh yeah. Yeah. Cancel culture, can we cancel this? Oh yeah.
Wow.
Come on.
Constance Carter. Did you know that Eric had bars? I mean, I think he spit a little something.
He spit a little something.
Yeah.
I was like, is that him?
Well, listen, I want to make sure that everybody in Conversation Starters Live, make sure you go tell a friend, get your mama and them on the MIC so that they can see the greatness that's about to happen.
Yes.
Because we want to introduce you to a young man. His mama named him Eric, but in the industry, they call him E-Ro. We don't call him Mr. Eric Roberson.
Hey.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. How y'all doing?
Awesome. Oh my God.
Oh man, y'all got me in my emotions. You know, I was like, I hadn't listened to the song in a couple of days. So it came on, I was like, oh, all right, stay focused. You know,
you got me in my emotions, brother. That song is beautiful. Oh my God. Repeat.
Thank you.
Repeat.
It really came from an honest place. I mean, it was written last week. It was written.
Really?
It was written the night that the Chad Boseman passed. It was written in that night. Got the news. And for me, the only way that I can process and cope is for me to create music, you know. And I don't think I went downstairs with the intention of writing that song. It was actually the second song I wrote that night, but I didn't want to stop writing. But if I stopped writing, I would start thinking, you know. So for me, it was like just releasing, and I don't think it was, truth be told, any intention of it like that we were really going to release it. It just happened that I finished it around 3 o'clock in the morning. And I just said, I really only finished half the song at that point, and I just posted it. I was like, you know what, whoever wants to listen to it right now, they probably feel like I feel. So I posted on Instagram and went to sleep, you know what I mean? And woke up to like, what are you doing? This is crazy, you know? So we said, you know what, let's just put it out, man. I think people need it. So that's what we did.
When you talk about the theme of 2020, I mean, it is absolute masterpiece. Like that's the song that will go down in history. Like you just captured everything that we've all been going through. Yeah. You just told our story for 2020. You knew Chad Boseman personally from Howard. And oh, by the way, this brother over here is a Howard alum as well.
Hey, you know, okay. And we everywhere, man. I'm not surprised. We everywhere, you know. I kind of saw the swag already. I said, okay, yeah, this brother probably
here we go.
He got some of that HU in him somewhere, you know. But yeah. I was a junior when Chad got there, and got a chance to see his talent, see his work. Was enormously proud of him, you know. And at the same time, on this last 2 weeks, just some great time to reflect, you know. I mean, just one side note that even a lot of people don't really know, my senior year, we're doing Jelly's Last Jam, this musical, and they're changing fine arts. They're combining multiple schools to one school, and they're going to put it all under liberal arts. And the fine arts department, mainly with other students, protested and took over the A building for like 3-4 days.
Listen, Eric. So let me tell you what happened. I learned this at Howard University.
Yeah.
At finals, every finals, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
There was a bomb threat that happened every year. And they would not allow the students to go in. It was, I think, my sophomore year. I was not prepared, dude. I think this was probably English. So I was on my way to Locke or Slow. Either way, I was on my way to class. It was like, dog, ain't no exams today. I was like, what happened? It's a bomb threat. I was like, what you mean a bomb threat? It's Howard University. Like, dude, they don't play with that. When it's a bomb threat, you cannot go in the building. I was like, well, my exam is from like 2 to 4.
They said, no, it ain't.
If at 4 o'clock it's still locked out, I was like, yes.
Well, think about this. This wasn't even during bomb threat. They took over the A building for several days, stayed in it.
Sit in, right?
Sit in. This is 97.
Yeah.
And Chad Boseman was the main person who negotiated for the
Really?
out of the people protesting in Abram. No, like, I mean, and it's crazy because I remember it, but I didn't remember it. It was like when we were just talking, it was like, oh my God, yeah, he sure enough did champion that whole. And mind you, we're doing Jelly's Last Jam. I played Jelly Roll Morton, and we're like, do we do the show tonight or do we not do the show? Because half of our cast, as well as our crew, was inside that A building.
Really?
And we did the show that night with half a cast, half crew. I think Chad was on the sound committee at that point. He was a sophomore, and
What were they protesting?
Protesting that they were getting rid of fine arts. They were getting rid of the fine arts degrees. They were, at this point, if you graduate, you'll have a liberal arts degree, and they were protesting about the. I mean, they were adding arts inside. They were putting everything all together, like lumping it all together, and they eventually end up doing it. But they were adamant about it. They took over the A building, which is the second time I remember in history. I think it happened late 80s. It happened as well for some other reason. But the thing of just that this guy risked getting expelled. Yeah. Missing his job on the production, a whole nine. I mean, he's a solid dude. He was just a really, really solid dude. He was really about his craft, a phenomenal actor, as everybody already knows. But, it's a blessing when you can watch. I've had the fortunate opportunity of watching a lot of people's dreams come true, and he's one of them. Yeah. I see them at a very early form when they're trying to figure it out. And then you get to another area when they figured it out, or at least figured out that level. It's an honor, man. I mean, and I could run off names for days just off of Howard alone.
Sure.
But it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You said, I'm sorry, one of the lines in your song, you said we had a superhero right here working through pain just to show us we can do the same.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because for me, I'm one who be honest with you, and it's not even a bragging thing. It's more of an example thing of trying to let people understand. I don't write lyrics down. I haven't written a song in the studio where I wrote the lyrics down probably the last 10 years. So for me, I just sit in front of the microphone and I just think and I hit record and just layer, and then I find out the meanings later. So it's crazy when I say, you had a superhero working through pain. That could have just as much been John Lewis.
Yeah.
As it was Chad I mean, the layers of when you look at that, what that statement is, when you look at, to me, and it's crazy because, I mean, this last week of just the layers of stuff that, of us trying to cope. This was a very emotional song for us to do. I did a song with DJ Jazzy Jeff and another brother named Cody Tatum. We're doing a group project and just so happen we're creating at the time. And I mean, we cried through the entire creation of this song. Every aspect of it, through the mixing process, when we laid the strings down, it was just a really tough thing. And when you look at 2020, COVID has been catastrophic. Sure. Understand, right? And it has been amongst my circle as well, amongst the Howard community. But when you stop and think about it, almost a lot of the stuff that's been catastrophic to Black people has nothing to do with COVID.
Yeah.
Talk about Bill Withers, Kobe Bryant, John Lewis, Chad I mean, we could just run off names of like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Of just, it's been an interesting and really, really crazy year. So for me, I just got behind the mic and hit record. I wasn't really trying to make sense of anything. I think people related to it because they didn't feel alone. Yeah, that was the main thing, because and then 2 days later, Sunday, which is, like I said, it's just an example of like how things work. Sunday, I only did the first verse and the hook, and of course the world has heard it already, and we weren't going to do a second verse. We were just going to add strings to the end. I was going to ad-lib a little bit, and we're going to just put it out. And my mom called me that morning when I'm talking to her while making breakfast, and then my dad gets on the phone, and while we're talking, and he's talking about music and talking about Chad and bringing up different situations, my dad starts crying on the phone.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, I'm already in this like really, really tough place. And now I hear my dad hurting. And I mean, it killed me, you know? So within 2 hours, I went back downstairs again, really just to finish up. Cause that morning we were kind of talking, all right, let's add strings. And Cuddy had laid strings to the song and the whole nine. I wasn't doing a second verse. We were ending the song, and I just went down there and I hit record. And the first thing I said is I had to talk to my dad, and he cried this morning.
Wow.
And it was like the rest of it was just there. And it's like, and it wasn't intended. But it was an honest place. And it was probably needed because the first verse is so heavy. The second verse gives a little bit of hope. Yeah. It ain't just completely hopeful, but it's a layer there. It's a layer of kind of at least bringing things to completion a little bit from that song standpoint. So, you know, cancel 2020 is a tough term. I'm getting a little backlash from it as well, but it came from an honest place. I mean, I'm not, by no means I'm gonna tell anybody to cancel themselves.
Well, listen,
but I am looking forward to 21. I'll tell you that.
We interviewed the actor Leon. He said he actually has a petition. He was like, really, I'm going to have you guys sign it. I'm going to send it to you so that we can cancel 2020. He was like, I have a petition.
Yeah.
Wow. We're going to start over in 2021. 2020 did not exist. You will be the same age in 2021.
We just skip it. I love it.
Absolutely.
And it's funny because you know, I meet some people who are like, no, don't cancel it because I'm rocking in 2020. You know, some people just like they just flourishing. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's been
it really is all about perspective. And you know, I'm so glad that you had the opportunity to be inspired in such a way where you're able to just put it on disc. I don't know if they call it wax anymore. I mean, because everything is digital now. But just to switch gears just a little bit, Constance. I mean, I you know how I get like stuck and focused on one thing. So I cannot help but recognizing the lid that you have on right now. And then I look behind you, I'm like, this joker got like a wall full of hats. Like those are real hats.
Now let's keep one. Look. Let's go ahead and scroll. It keeps going. Let's go the other way. Another wall too.
It don't stop.
Yeah. It don't stop. So I mean, I like hats, man. We're a man of many hats, man. You know. And shout out to a young lady named Mass Creativity, who did this hat and a couple other. The purple one is hanging right above where my point at. The purple one is hanging above my head right here. I mean, I love to support Black businesses, of course, as well. But I'm a person who wears a lot of hats. I'm an artist. I'm a father. I'm a husband. You know what I mean? A label owner. You know, so
let me tell you why this funny story is a true story. So typically, I see you in hats, right? So that's your look. That's what I know. That's what I remember. Yeah. So I remember one time you didn't have your hat on, and I was sitting with someone. I was like, "Who is this dude? Is that that's Eric? That's the dude you was telling me about, Eric?" I was like, "Huh?" Because I've never seen you have a hat. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I'll tell you what's so funny. One of the biggest business decisions that helped me out in my career was a little bit before I started wearing hats. I got a big part put in the side of my head. I was almost wearing like a Malcolm X, like almost like somewhat Gumby with a part in my head. And literally from the day I got that part, it was like when I was walking through the airport, it was different. And the hat was almost the same way. It's like now, even if I'm at a supermarket with my kids and I'm way down the aisle, somebody's like, "Hey, ain't that Eric Roberson?" And just because of that hat. And I mean, plenty of people wear hats, but I guess it's been a good business decision. But I like wearing hats too. So, you know,
your wall certainly confirms that you love yourself.
Indeed.
I want to go back to the music part. When you said that you don't write a lyric down, which it absolutely blew my mind. That's a Jay-Z, Lil Wayne. Yeah,
notorious.
Yeah, and that is a divine download gift from God. Like to be able to put words together in that way and be so profound, and it's not something that you've had to write down. Let me scratch that out. Let me go back. Well, no, this one. Like for it to come out so fluid and be so meaningful, that is absolutely amazing. Are you also a musician as well? You play?
I'm what you call a first date musician. On a first date, I can pull out a guitar or a keyboard. Okay. I can really, really impress you on like the first date, but if by the third or fourth date you realize that like that's the same chords, that's the same, like it's really tired by that. But on first approach, I'm D'Angelo.
Dude, it's fire.
You like, yo, this dude is. So in the studio, I can get out my ideas. I'm not as gifted as a musician as my band members or like a lot of the session guys who'll play. So most of the times, a lot of songs you'll hear, I'll lay down the idea of the direction of where I want to go, and then we'll bring in some real cats to come in and take it to another level, you know. So, but for me, and even going back to the lyric writing, I got to a point. Now, mind you, to be fair, and I can show you. I mean, just literally at this desk where I'm at, there's pens and pads and lyrics and just writing all over the place. Like literally, if I just reach right here, let me see what it says. It says, so I'm just always writing. People are quicker to engage if you are included in the process rather than just witnessing the results. So, I mean, it's just tons of little stuff. But when I create, as far as writing songs, writing it down gets in the way. So for me, if I take a minute, and this is probably more the theater background, if I take a minute to decide who I want to be in that song, then I just be that. Because like making things rhyme and staying on pitch, we've worked on that so hard that's just second nature now. So if I'm writing a song about pain, okay, where's the pain come from? Why is it? Okay, did she leave me? Why did she leave me? If the more I fine tune the character, I just hit record and I just be that. So a song like Cancel 2020, I'm already coming down character defined. I'm already hurting. All I gotta do is hit record. There's no reason to stop and try to write something down. That's just I don't want to say a waste of time, but it'll just be in the way of like I'm already processing what's going on. You know,
and what I love about that, Constance, and E, I'm paying you a compliment and saying that your gift and your talent, you're staying true to it based on what you're saying and the way that you're able to talk about what you have written on paper. And I say that because in this business, there's so many one-hit wonders where they all sound the same, right? If you listen to a rotation on your typical radio station, even though it's a different artist, it's typically the same flow, same pitch, same beat, same subject matter, same everything. So it's hard to tell who's who, right?
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, those are the people who seem to attain success the quickest. True artists, for whatever reason, they seem to not have that overnight, $1 billion rock star fame. However, if you go to see a E-Rose show, if you go see a Lettucey show, you go see a Layla show, like that joint from front to back is like true diehard fans, and they know every word of your song. Like for instance, I know one time I played Picture Perfect, No Lie for about 30 days straight.
Wow.
All day, every day. Dude, I wait till you got to the end though. Jealous about the picture. But dude, I mean, that is a creative vibe. Like, I know that wasn't a part of the song, but it was so dope. It was so organic. Like I'm glad that you captured that on the song.
But he's so prolific. He's one of the best songwriters out there.
Yeah. Dope.
But I even give you a funny story that we haven't told much about that end part. So the end part is jealous of your lipstick because it can kiss your lips on. So that was really initially the bridge of the song, right? It was I made the bridge, and then my brother Fonte, I sent a song to him, and he decided to rhyme on it. Once he rhymed on it, I took the bridge out. Like, okay, you're now the bridge. You're going to rhyme over this section, and I left it like I never thought nothing of it. The producer of the song, who's my keyboard player, my band, Aaron Harden, was the producer of the song, and he found the stems of that part just in the files. He was like, what's this part? And so then he put it at the end. He added extra music to it. And it was probably the best thing because that part is so memorable, even from a live show standpoint. When we go to that part, even though it's a whole nother subject matter, it's just another part of that song. It just gives it a lift, So
you do perform that part live because that's
like, man. If I want to leave alive at that venue, I better. Hey, look, you can't finish a song without doing that part.
Wait. So if you've ever listened to Conversation Starters Live, once again, for everybody who's checking in, this is Eric Roberson, along with the lovely Constance Carter. I am Robert Antoinette, and we are having a conversation. This is a pet peeve of Constance and myself, Eric. Now peep game, and let me just cry on your shoulder for a second.
Yep.
I've listened to your CD. I know the words of your CD. I know the melody, I know the key, I know where your part gonna come in. When I pay my $99.99 to come see you, because I'm sitting on the front row, and then your band go off and riff and do some remix. You do a remix, and I'm like, wait. I ain't come to see that. That ain't the song that I know. But to hear you say that you actually do that part, you know, the way it is in the song, that's everything. So yeah. I guess my question for you is, can you speak to why jokers feel like they need to change up a perfectly beautiful song
that often?
Well, yeah, I'm guilty of it. There's times where I'm like, okay, the record is this, and it needs to be this, right? And there's times where I've definitely, because you got to think that we call it the left turn, and it's those things that make, you know, for us in the studio, we're chasing this goosebump feeling. We're chasing that thing that makes it go, oh, right. And then all of a sudden now the song comes out, and now you're touring and you're singing the song hundreds of times a year, right? When you think about it, let's say if you're a heavy touring person, you know, let's say Gregory Porter. I remember I was talking to him one year. He had 265 shows in 1 year. Wow, like, my God, like, you know, and I'm probably half of that, right? So, you know, I don't know if it's a thing that you necessarily get bored of the song, but somehow the song grows and something happens. But what happens is you're in Tennessee, and the bass player plays this riff and it changes the course of the song. You go, oh my God, that was crazy. And it's one thing if it happens in the moment and the song goes somewhere. What happens is now we go, remember what happened in Tennessee? Let's try that here in Chicago. And then 2-3 months later, it's grown into something totally different. It's not even giving us the goosebump anymore. We're just out here fishing now. So that's the main thing. I would think that in the times that I go to shows and I want to see one of my favorite artists sing one of my favorite songs and they change it, I go too. So I get it, but then I'm also the artist who plenty of times I'm like, well, let's change it. More early in my career, I was really that. I was like, you know, let's just change. Let's see how we can take it to another level.
Yeah.
We're now I'm a little bit more of like, the record was this way. Let me try to bring it.
I want to sing along with you. Your audience will sing along with you.
Yeah, let's try to bring it. Let's try to bring it to the, and still have but if the left turn happens, it's authentic. Now, what my band will tell you is that I'm constantly the good thing that I love improv, because I'm constantly forgetting lyrics.
Oh my God.
So I will just straight, because if something happens on stage or I see something, it'll take me, and it's crazy, it happens all the time, and it'll take me for a second, and then for a minute I'm not singing the lyrics. So now I might just sing something. It'll make sense. It just won't be that lyric, and then I'll drive
singing your lyrics, because we know all the lyrics.
Yeah. And somebody in the front row will be like, what was that? You know, and then I just, but my band knows it. It happens at least twice a show. And then what happens, you know, somebody comes to the show and they're like, can you sing? You know, they'll name some song I did 15 years ago. And I'm like, we'll try it. I don't remember the lyrics. Yeah. But I'll try it, and I'll butcher the song. I have no problem. I'll get up there and sing the little part I know. I say, all right, sing the first line, and I'll know the rest of it. Having a good time.
Let me speak to Queen Honey Speaks. No show is the same, and that's great. I want to tell you, if I spend my $99, I know all your joints. I know where to come in. I know the part that I can sing, like strong with my chest out. So I'm waiting for that part, because I'm right with you. But if you go off the left turn, you rob me of my experience.
And let me say this, and what I will say, and I do know, because there's certain parts of a certain song, like case in point, Dealing, the big note that me and Layla sing at the end, or The Moon with the big it's like, you know, there's certain parts you can't skip. Obviously, Music Soul Child's Love, the falsetto note. You know, people are coming for that moment. So now he can make a left turn in that second verse, and you will be more forgivable. But in that climatic moment, you got to make sure that you hit that point. That's what the person came for. So So for me, a lot of it is make sure that first line is authentic. Make sure that first line is the way the first line was in the song. Make sure that hook is the way that hook was it, and make sure the climax is the climax. And the rest of it, you can kind of make it its own, you know, and change it. But truth be told, I'm gonna tell you what's more important is that it's authentic. Yeah. That you're in character. The song's about pain, that you sing it in pain. The song's about happiness and celebration, you sing it. And I think if you do that, it's it's great. We know certain singers. I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Certain singers who might not have the voice that he used to have, and we'll celebrate along with them, right? Yeah. Because of the celebration of the experience, right? So we're singing along with him the whole nine, and we're not like, man, they might not have hit that note like I wanted them to, but we still like, woo, we partying because of the overall experience, and at the same time, it's still authentic. It's still authentic.
Before I let you,
I didn't say that. You said that. You said that, hey man. You said that, hey man. I'm not going. You ain't going. The devil is up. No. You said that. Go on and get canceled if you want to.
What's some Frankie Beverly? But we know
every Beverly reunion.
They hitting them notes.
That's my dude.
But Frankie Beverly, I mean, let's keep it on. Frankie Beverly brings a celebration. He brings a celebration. Every time. And at the end of the day, wherever his voice is at the time, it doesn't matter. We're gonna be singing along. We're gonna be celebrating.
We ain't missing.
We're gonna be partying the whole nine, because and it's crazy. I just read this thing the other day about, there's this book. I think it's called Odd Communications with God, and just the first 5 pages blew me away because the man was talking to God, and God said, "I'd rather call it. I don't want to call it talking. I want to call it communication, because truth be told, words are the weakest part of communication. Feeling is the strongest part. So when you hear Frankie Beverly Mays, you feeling it. It's the experience. It's how many times I sung this at a barbecue. How many times I've been on a dance floor. What it gave me the first time I heard it. Is way deeper than any other aspect of that song. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? That like we always laugh at it. That's why so many people have sung Reasons at weddings. When you really look at the meaning of the song's about infidelity. But people have sung it at weddings. Why? Because the feeling of the song.
Reason that we're here.
Think about it. Google the lyrics if you want to. But we can name a million songs that say one thing and people feel another way about it.
Yeah.
And so
I didn't know the reason for infidelity. My jam.
Hey, read the lyrics. Read the lyrics. Amen. Read the lyrics. So
you heard Pastor Eric, amen.
Amen. So Eric, let me ask you this. So you've written for, you've worked with so many people. Who's been some of your favorite artists to work with?
I mean, it goes back once again, even to that part of like seeing a lot of people's dreams come true. I always tell people that, when I worked with Jill, when I worked with music, Soul Child, when I worked with Vivian Green, those were just friends.
Yeah.
Wait.
This dude. I hate you.
I hate when people name drop and then they say my boo and they like glide over that thing. Did you say Jilly from Philly?
I remember when Jill walked in the studio. We were working at Touch of Jazz in Philadelphia. I remember when Jill walked in the studio for the very first time. I remember the day like it was yesterday. I remember when Music Soul Child walked in. I remember when Floetry came over from London. Really? I remember the day. I remember when Raheem Devon came to Touch of Jazz. I mean, I can remember the days like it was yesterday. And yes, we didn't. There were no record deals. There were no millions of records sold. There were just people in there with dreams, trying to figure out how to do this and trying to see, am I worthy enough to make a living doing this or to continue trying? You know what I mean? And at some point, we've all asked the question: should I keep trying? You know. Mm-hmm. So when you see them get signed, and mind you, we have plenty of people who got signed and it didn't work, right? So to see somebody get signed and become like some huge artist, millions of records sold or whatever, it's an honor to witness that. It's Absolutely. An honor. And mind you, my dreams have come true. It's been an honor to walk that journey, but it's a special thing when you're in the trenches with someone creating, when you're in the trenches with somebody praying or navigating or strategizing, and you see it work. It's a beautiful thing.
Now, my question for you, and these people shall go nameless, like for some of the people that you named and didn't name, do you still have that same kind of access? Because when you're at the Taste of Philadelphia, it's a grimy, feeling. It's raw, and you just one of the people in the number, looking to get on, looking to crack that nut, you know, to be worldwide, to be a global brand. And at that time, I'm sure you passed numbers and you chat it up and you talk and you collaborate, but then someone gets signed, then someone gets notoriety, then somebody gets fame, then somebody becomes a celebrity. Is the vibe still the same, or do people get Hollywood, or has that happened to you in your experience?
Well, everybody's different, you know, and you know, money, and it's the part we always try to let people know and understand. Your money is only going to amplify who you are, who you are. So a good person is more than likely going to stay a good person. A person who's not really that good spirited is really going to be very obvious. But at the same time, if you have insecurities and doubt, those insecurities and doubt are going to be even bigger.
Yeah, they're
you know. What I would tell you though, you know, most people that I work with are genuine, real, amazing people. That's why we worked with them, right? From the gate. That's why we were friends. But you know, success it takes over. For the last 20 years, I probably have seen my musical friends more in the airport while we're passing, you know, going to Detroit or something like that, or at some music festival, we get a chance to catch up. And I think we all long for those times of being in the studio for 3 days straight. I mean, Touch of Jazz, for example, DJ Jazzy Jeff Studios in Philly, it was 4 rooms in the basement of this building, and there was no windows there. And I would show up on Thursday, and no exaggeration, everybody can tell you, I might not leave till Tuesday or Wednesday. We were down there working, and as soon, I mean, I'm exhausted. I leave one room, and I just want to say, all right, let me go to Studio B just to say peace out. And I walk in there creating something, and I go, and before you know it, you're in there for a whole day.
Yeah.
And so I think we all kind of missed that a little bit. We kind of like, man, it would be great to kind of have that time to zone out. I mean, I got 3 kids now. My studio's here in my home, and now we can email or send people ideas and stuff like that. But you know, the fellowship time is hard because we all adults now. Most of all of us are all parents now.
Yeah.
Most all of us are. You know, then the tour schedule is crazy and stuff like that. So we do miss that. And I think, you know, when you have certain things like Chad Boseman passing, there's a little bit of everybody kind of taking a minute to just, I'm just checking on you, just letting you know I love you, and just, you know, because if you're not careful, as busy as our schedules can be, you'll blink and another year goes by and we haven't spoken.
Or somebody passes and you don't get to tell that person that you love them or how you really felt about them. And so that's why COVID has also been a great time for reflection. You know, you not being on tour and just listening to you, a couple of things that you said, you know, just sitting on the front row, watching other people's success and blow up, like that has to be everything. I'm sure that's, you know, super meaningful for you. But the other thing is, you not being able to have that interaction, because now you guys record way differently than you used to, right? You're recording at home, you're emailing the tracks and all that stuff, so you don't get that camaraderie, you don't get that. Is it different for you now, the way you're recording? Are you still getting that, you know, that nostalgia or that feeling not being able to be in there with other people?
I mean, I think I've been kind of used to it to a way, and you find ways to work it out. I mean, even me and Layla, when we did Dealing, which we could have easily been in the same studio when we did it, but she lives in LA, I live in New Jersey, so she was in LA when she cut her part, I was in New Jersey when I cut my part. It'd be great if we can kind of have that time, but I think I learned a long time ago, I was always one who had equipment. I was always one who was like, okay, I need more equipment, make sure I always have enough to get something done. And I was also one who was like, I'm not going to wait. I don't want to wait till Layla comes to New Jersey or wait till the next time I'm in LA.
Like, get it done.
Let's get it done. And for me, a lot of times it just happens to be whoever I'm around is who I'm creating with.
Right.
So and at the same time, you know, we can jump on a Zoom call, which I've done a lot just over the pandemic time. You know, we'll jump on a Zoom call and we'll create right there the session. And it's almost like the person's in the room. At the end of the day, it's about that feeling. And more than likely, when I'm doing my part, whether you're in the room or not, I'm kind of zoned out anyway. Like I'm kind of tunnel vision into to my part. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a fun thing. I think you make it work.
Yeah,
make it work.
Cool. So listen, it's that time, Constance, where we need to put this brother on the really want to know couch.
I was having so much fun.
But before we get to that part, I need to ask you real quick, Eric. Just listening to the way your mind works and your creative, collaborative spirit has been during your journey. Are you more inclined to more intimate venues, or do you like the big open air venue, the concert, you know, was 30,000, 15,000, or do you want to be in a jazz supper club where it's 200? Like, where do you feel what's your vibe, your sweet spot?
I mean, I think give me whatever opportunity comes, and you make it. Each one is totally different. I think probably more the intimate one is probably going to
Yoshi's. Yes, come back.
Yeah, because you know there's a better chance that you actually are going to remember someone from that front row or interact with something that's actually happening in the crowd or something like that. You know, for me, I always say we feed off of that. So if something happens 3 rows down to the left, we're going to comment about it in the song or in the moment or during the show. Where, you know, if you're doing some big festival, you realize that there's a lot of stuff that you can't do because it's just too big.
Yeah.
You know, it's too big. No one will catch those kind of things. So it's a different type of show. So yeah, I'm sure. I think it's probably more the intimate things, just because I think more memorable things from an intimate moment happens on those shows, and I enjoy that. Yeah, SOBs. I see Hassan is writing in. SOB is one of my favorite stages, of course, to perform in New York.
So you're not feeling like the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, because Birchmere is a smaller venue.
Oh no, they just shout out Birchmere as well. That's another one of my favorite spots. You know, it's one of the last venues I performed at before things shut down. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got love for a lot of cities.
Cool, I love it.
Oakland. Yoshi's Oakland.
Oh yeah, Yoshi for sure.
All right, so E, you are a lover, man. You write love music. You're an R&B smooth kind of dude. So I'd like to ask you, when did you first fall in love with hip hop? Tell me your jam, tell me your artist, and tell me the year.
Hip hop was kind of always around, but I remember my Uncle John, we all went on a family trip to the Poconos, my parents and like their best friend families kind of all went up. And my Uncle John's older brothers played Lottie Dottie, Slick Rick, and Dougie Fresh. And I remember I was a little kid, and I remember trying to act like I knew what that song was. It was really the first time hearing it, but I was just trying to process it, but trying to be cool about it, like really. And I probably was never the same after that. Like that was a. I remember the room. And I can't tell you the date. I remember the date or anything like that, but I remember where I was standing at when they pressed play, and like waiting for them to play it again. Like about an hour later, they played it again, and I was like, what is this, you know? And there was several moments like that, but that was probably the real start. If I remember back to something, because I mean, I think before I heard the breaks and stuff like that, before that I heard Blow, Hill Gang, but that was the moment when I heard that song, I was like, it just hit different for me. It hit different.
We likes to party. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother
nobody. We're just the men that's on the mic.
And when we rock up on our mic,
we rock the mic.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so I have a question for you. So if you were stuck on a deserted island, what would be 3 things that you would take? 3 things you would take. Say you weren't stuck there forever, maybe a week, maybe a month, but 3 things that you have to take.
Can I bring my? I don't know if I'll give. Can I bring my family or
things?
Things. I mean, I'll hope my phone, if the service works. Commission Go Tell Somebody CD. Hopefully, wait. Hopefully, well, no. Give me. No, if I can be specific, give me a iPod. Okay. Like give me an old joint. Okay. iPod. Full of like just my music, and I probably say the Bible, even though there's been some other books who like John Lewis's autobiography. But like once you read it, but like if anybody's ever read, what's my man that Dave Chappelle used to do a skits over? Rick James' autobiography is one of the most entertaining books you could ever read in your entire life. I might bring that book with me just because that might help the time go. That might help the time go. But yeah, I mean, outside of that and a microwave, that's crazy because I can't plug it up nowhere. I'm naming all these things. Like
because you gonna be shit on your phone. You are.
Yeah, I'm sure. I bring a CD. I can't play it nowhere. iPad. I guess with the iPod, I need some headphones. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be a little messed up regardless.
Okay,
yeah.
So music, book, food.
Yeah, some food. Even if it's bread, give me some some bread, unlimited loaves of bread and some butter. I could live off bread and butter.
You good?
By itself. Yeah, good.
All right. So I'm a big fan of Bruce Lee.
Come on. Yeah.
I know in martial arts, they say you should never use your art unless you really have to, right? So you're a brother. You went to HU. Did you or did you not use your vocals to get you in some rooms that you wouldn't have gotten in ordinary? Did you use your superpowers for bad?
Because he would. Just know that this brother would.
If I can sing, oh my God. Woo.
I was once asked, did I ever use my musical talents in this way? And I'll be honest, I don't know if I've ever not used it. And I mean, and only because it's really just a part of me. So I don't know if I've ever necessarily been like, I'm gonna get her now. Ooh, you know what I mean? I think I never wanted to be, the rayon shirt, half buttoned open dude. That wasn't really the lane, but it was just natural for me to walk in the house and pick the guitar up. Now, mind you, though, I learned very early on that, a year later, when you walk in the house and pick the guitar up, a lot of times don't be surprised when they're like, you gonna pick that guitar up again? Because and to keep 100, like, I go in the studio and sometimes, now I got kids, so it's different. But there was times I might go in the studio, in my own studio, and be in there for 10 hours, working on the same song, maybe the same verse, the same chord, the same over and over and over again. So it's not really that. The closer you get to me, it's not as much a fairy tale aspect. Mm-hmm. If you're really around me all day, eventually you're gonna be like, "Will you shut up? Like, are you really gonna keep singing that line?" Because I'm gonna keep working and processing something and taking a song I just finished into each room to try the speakers out and see what the mix is like. So it's an overall process. So I appreciate my wife for how much she tolerates. Let's just say that.
I love it. So speaking of wife, or women of the opposite sex, what is the first thing that you notice about a woman?
Conversation. I think that was the thing I really noticed about my wife first that made her really set. Like, I noticed it was different. I noticed that I didn't want to stop talking to her. Of course,
did you meet her at Howard?
I did. She went to Howard, but I didn't know her at the time. I knew everyone she knew. So eventually, some friends of ours introduced us after Howard, and stuff. And it was probably a blessing that we didn't know each other at Howard, to be honest. But yeah, the time we met each other was the right time to meet each other. And I think the first thing was just like, she's witty, sense of humor. Just like I found myself like wanting to be around her. Wow. So but I like women. I like ankles. I like, she had cute ankles. She had nice elbows. You know what I mean? It's like, let's keep 100. She had all the aspects she all the marks you can check off the list. Yeah. She had good kneecaps and stuff.
Kneecaps.
Good kneecaps. All the joints were nice and oiled.
Well, ladies, when y'all had a chance, Eric Roberson really loves lotion, shea butter, and baby oil.
And make sure you put some Vaseline on it too.
Yeah.
As much as you like.
Make sure you hook them corners up.
Yes, indeed. So, E, I know you're peeping the verses, Swiss Beats and Timberland. Shout out to them. for having such an amazing platform. Next up is Auntie Patty, along with Gladys Knight. And I know you've done some collabos. You named the very talented Jilly from Philly and the lovely Layla girlfriend, Layla Hathaway, my girlfriend, but she don't know it yet. Don't tell her. For your next collabo, if you had the opportunity to sing with one of the icons, one of the legends, and you can only choose one for your next epic joint, are you, Eric Roberson, choosing Gladys Knight?
Be careful.
Patti LaBelle.
Let's go.
The choice is yours.
Well, I'm a keep 100 and Gladys. I mean, you don't get much better than Gladys, but Patti is like, and I've never met. Well, that's not true because we met Patti. Me and my wife. My wife is a huge Patti LaBelle fan. I mean, I'm a huge Patti LaBelle fan, but my wife is like, that's like her second mom. You know what I mean? So I think it would be Patti LaBelle in general, though. Gladys got those. I mean, even in the versus battle, I'm like, ooh, because Gladys got some smokers.
Yeah,
got some smokers. So but it'll be Patti. It'll be Patti. I would need.
Love you.
Yeah. Look, kick the shoes off, roll on the floor. Let's get some aerosol cans out. Let's get that hair back up. Let's go back. Let's do it.
Oh, we're gonna go back to the 80s. We're gonna go back to the 80s.
I got a new attitude up in this piece.
Yeah.
Got a new attitude.
Indeed. Man, I love that. He was brave with it. He tried to tap dance around the cons, but eventually he brought it home. So, Auntie Gladys, I want to let you know that I will be on the midnight train to Georgia with you.
I'm going with Patti. Patti.
And Constance are going with Patti. Miss Patti, I love Patti. I remember the first time I saw her though, y'all. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but I saw her in King's Dominion. And I had to be a teenager. When I saw this chick throw her shoes off and open her mouth wide and all kinds of magic came out.
You were scared?
No, I mean, that was one of the first time I think I made the stank face. Y'all know that face I'm talking about.
So Lee Thompson, I'm going to ask her question. She said, if you were stranded on an island, which one album would you want to listen to?
Oh, Commission, Go Tell Somebody. Commission, yeah. That's the one. That's the one. That's the beginning. I mean, that's the album that made me want to write songs. You know, so I mean, there's tons of records that I could think of, but Stevie Wonder's Talking Book and Songs of Key of Life. But for me, it begins and ends with Go Tell. I mean, even in because I could even go hip hop like Low End Theory, Midnight Marauders, Tribe Called Quest will be up there. But Commission, Go Tell Somebody will be it for me. Commission
was a life changer for so many people, and me included. So
all right, so watch what I'm getting ready to do, Con.
What you about to do?
Ero is an East Coast cat.
Mm-hmm.
He from Jersey, Brick City, around the way, from the 5 boroughs. So right now, Conversation Starters live. Every MC, every artist around the world wants to know. Give me your top 5 rhyme spitters. Don't walk me around the building. Think about it, but give me your top 5, son. I need to know if you representing for Bill. Let me know.
Now, let's be clear real quick. Are we talking about like best rappers of all time? Like,
yeah, I knew he was going to do this. Give me your top 5.
Rhymers. If I'm all right, rhymers. I'm gonna say Biggie, Jay-Z, Rakim.
You better put some West Coast on there. I know you got some.
KRS-One.
KRS-One, come on, you got to give me one.
I mean, no, listen, there's a ton of West Coast, but if I got
your top 5.
No, we got to start from the beginning.
He said Biggie,
Jay-Z, Rakim, KRS-One. Number 5, I mean, I'm leaning towards. I mean, and I'll say even I'll say Slick Rick. I'll say Slick Rick because, and mind you, Slick Rick inspired so many people. Snoop Dogg and so many people. I mean, you know, mind you, Ice Cube is not far from my list. Scarface, of course, not far from that list. But I mean, my top 5 would probably probably be those, and it changes about an hour. If you ask me in an hour, it might be a totally different list. But yeah, that's the 5 right now.
I can dig it. All 5 East Coast. And you know what, Hassan, brother, I know how we feel about Biggie Baby. Baby, that's one of my favorites too. So I would imagine, and I'm not even going to ask you this one, East Coast, West Coast, Biggie or Tupac. I already know who you got because you ain't even put Tupac in your top 5. So I'm not even going to ask you that, brother. So my last question is on the opposite sex of a woman. Do you prefer long hair or short hair?
Either. I think it depends on the face, but short hair I like Halle Berry when she has short hair, but I like long hair. Yeah, I like it all. I'm not picky. Okay. Yeah. I couldn't give you. It depends on who it is.
Right.
I try to get my wife to cut her hair off, but I like her with long hair too.
Yeah.
Well, my brother, I'm not going to touch that one because happy wife, happy life, and whatever she likes, I like. Is that coming to him? Whatever you like, my king. Whatever you. So my last question before I let you get out of here, brother. When you come out of COVID, give me the one destination you want to go to just to hang out, 3 whole days, not 1, not 2, but 3 all days, just to relax. I'm come for relaxation and good vibration. Me come out of COVID and we can travel freely. Tell me where you want to be.
It will be Jamaica. Me and my wife built our relationship in Jamaica.
Oh, wow.
It would easily be that.
Jamaica. Talk with that Jamaican accent.
Yeah, it's crazy that he had a Jamaican accent, but it would be I would get out the plane, go straight, get my jerk chicken, go to my familiar little villa, and hopefully the same people there and give me some snapper and and just chill. It would be hands down. It would be Jamaica.
I love it.
That's what's it. I love that.
Well, Mr. Eric, you have been such a pleasure, such a beautiful spirit, and that song. I tell you, it has been one of the most amazing songs that I've heard this year. It is going to be the soundtrack of 2020. I hope you win a Grammy. I hope you win an American Award. I hope you win a BET Award. I hope you win an MTV. I hope you win every award that they have because it is so timely and it's so on point, so poignant, and it is absolutely beautiful. We're gonna play it out again before as we leave the broadcast today. But I just want to congratulate you on everything that you've done. And just big ups and shout out to all your successes and keep doing it. Keep doing what you do. You are
y'all. Keep it going. I appreciate it.
Yeah, hey, listen, before I let you get out of here, wrote for president. I'm with you, Hassan. I'm gonna make some phone calls. If I get you started, can you just spit this one bar for me? Like girl, you are. I couldn't.
You gotta get right to it.
Baby.
Girl, you are picture perfect fit. Look, he want me to lip sync for it. He got lip sync. I do the work for it.
No, Robert, please, let him do it, please, Lord.
I can get that part. I just gotta practice.
Pay your $99, bro. Pay your $99.
Please, I will let you. I will loan it to you, brother. Please.
Oh my goodness. Well, see, Constance, I was gonna get him going, but you just messed it all up.
No, do not encourage Robert. Whoever you are, don't encourage him. Say, get it, Robert. No, don't get it, Robert.
No, I'm gonna keep my day job, do this hosting thing, and keep on talking to amazing people who actually can sing.
Yes.
But listen, I love the fact that you love the Lord, E, and I want to make sure that everybody out there knows that your gift from God was your breath of life. What you do with that gift is your gift back to Him. So make sure that you don't use or abuse the gift. Cherish it. Make sure that you share your love and light with everyone. Make sure that you appreciate the people that are in your circle. And the word says that it's easy to love somebody that loves you, but can you truly love somebody that don't love you? Can you forgive somebody that don't really deserve forgiveness? And the one thing you need to know before you hate on them or before you respond negatively, think of how many times you messed up. In the midst of your mess, the creator of the universe dusted you off, picked you up, and wiped your sins clean as snow. So make sure you love somebody, touch somebody. Make sure you just share your gift with the world. My name is Robert Antwin, and I love hanging out with
Constance Carter.
And we believe that for every situation,
there is a conversation.
This is Eric Roberson, and you have been listening to Conversation Starters.
Yes.
Maybe just wake up and it all disappears.
Hey.
First came COVID, then came COVID. What
Hey.
did it become it? Not to mention cops still shooting us out here. Cancel culture, can we cancel this? Oh yeah, I'll take 15. If you know what I mean. Yo, I'm building this past, I was already done. Man, 20, yo, you ain't been fun. Wanna hop straight to 21. But really, I fear COVID gon' still be here. Cloud signs.
Come on. You guys pick it up.